New microphone, new attitude. This isn't our microphone. It's a loaner, but still, I just
I was
thought
gonna
that'd
say
be a
we have to
great
have a new
line.
attitude too.
Well, I mean, I just thought that, we're coming back with a vengeance
Okay, but
after the
can your attitude be Macho Man Randy Savage?
absolutely no, it's too hard on the throat. I'm not saying that I
Oh
can't
damn!
do it. I'm just saying it's too hard on the
See, he
throat.
just can't do it.
Oh yeah. That actually really hurt. I could feel it. Like I could feel it like back here. It's not fun. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
So we're gonna go back to the old attitudes then.
Well, I mean, actually, you know what? Probably, but you know what? I think we should congratulate ourselves. This one lasted longer than the first time we tried. New podcast, new attitude.
Sure.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Degen Wrestling. And in honor of Ben, who said we're going back to our old attitudes, I'm telling you right here, right now, we are here live.
No.
Yeah.
That's not an attitude.
Yes. Oh God, it is.
Don't mind him. He's kind of an idiot.
We're here Sunday, Sunday evening, Super Bowl Sunday, I might add. Let's go 49ers. And we're here with the Degen Wrestling podcast. You guys are going to see it tomorrow, so Super Bowl will already have been sold. So all your minds will be focused on wrestling, which we're going to provide you with right now. We're going to start things off a little differently because TNA screwed up.
Big time.
TNA really screwed up. So Scott D'Amore, as of I believe last Tuesday, has been released from his Anthem contract. Now, we've been searching around since this news broke to try to figure out what the explanation was, how Anthem's handling it, because really, when you look at Scott D'Amore, he's kind of been the person to resurrect Impact and build TNA.
And he's just like a pure wrestling fan.
He is absolutely 1,000% a pure wrestling fan and pretty well beloved too.
Yeah.
But from what we're looking and from what we're seeing, the rationale for Anthem firing Scott D'Amore is he attempted to buy TNA Wrestling. He secured backing from a major financial institution to buy TNA Wrestling. Anthem said no. Anthem released him from his deal.
Yeah.
Talent got mad
because still mad.
A lot of them, whether they be homegrown or whether they be new guys, are there because of Scott D'Amore.
Yeah.
And when they announced it, they actually held it was a talent-only meeting so that Anthem could display themselves, but they didn't actually allow the talent to, ask any questions about why this move was made.
No.
And honestly,
more of a lecture than a meeting.
Yeah. It's more of a lecture than a meeting. And if I can be quite honest, it's a really bad form.
Yeah, so if you want to buy TNA or get out of TNA, just offer to buy it, apparently.
Clearly. But really, when you look at it, though, just the impact it's going to make, pardon entirely intended, on the talent, like
it could be a global force.
It could really be a global force. It could be a real ring king.
Yeah.
However, it's not a good look for the talent. It's not a good look for Impact Wrestling. No. I'm sorry, nothing short of Vince McMahon's scandal.
I wouldn't say nothing short
should be able to unseat Scott D'Amore. Just because of how beloved he is, and he has built his own reputation as someone who genuinely loves wrestling from top to bottom. He was able to broker deals with WWE and AEW. And the fact that he's able to do that is nothing short of spectacular. Hell, he's brokered deals with New Japan, All Japan. You've named it, he's done it. He's allowed his talent to be able to go there as ambassadors to TNA. Josh Alexander being a big one. He's allowed Jordan Grace to go to the Royal Rumble as an ambassador, and WWE had to promote the hell out of her, which was not only good for her, but good for TNA. Why would you get rid of this guy? I don't understand. I help me out here, because I genuinely don't understand this one.
Jealousy that they couldn't do it themselves. Pure stupidity.
Pure stupidity I would buy. Jealousy that they couldn't do it themselves. I don't think there was ever a will or an investment to be able to even try to do it for themselves. Well, that's why I don't.
Maybe they didn't like it.
That's why I don't get it. Why wouldn't you like somebody who is on a global stage seen by millions and have the biggest wrestling company in the world promote the hell out of your
Maybe they want it to
content?
fail.
What do you mean, TNA?
Yeah,
What do you think, a tax write-off?
maybe.
In any case,
Yeah.
from one major fallout to another, Damage Control.
Damage Control.
We saw it.
Yeah.
So basically, for those of you who haven't seen SmackDown, and the reason why we're doing this here, there was a press conference on Thursday where Bayley got no time.
Yeah.
It was called out by CM Punk.
Absolutely no reason to have Bianca there.
To have her there for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble is nowhere to be found. So we're going to shine some light on Damage Control because screw it.
Absolutely.
So you're more into Damage Control than I am.
I'm a big fan
Do
of Bayley.
you want to take a crack at telling the people what happened?
So, I believe we did mention this.
We mentioned
but we're
this
still going to
last week.
highlight it. So, Damage Control was basically talking smack about Bayley.
Yep.
She realizes, well, she was in the other room, heard it. They go out to the ring. Bayley's about to announce who she's going to face at Mania, going over things. Says, you think I'm stupid, things like that, to Damage Control, Kairi Sane, Asuka. Dakota Kai nowhere to be found at the time. This was, again, not this past Friday, but the Friday before.
Yeah.
And speaks in Japanese.
Yeah.
She knows what they've been saying about her. Damage Control end up attacking her, but she had a plan. She had a pipe.
Absolutely.
She attacks. She gets Damage Control back and declares she will see Io at Mania.
Fast forward to this week, Dakota Kai shows up. And the reason why I bring this up is I think it's one of the most interesting angles that they've got going into WrestleMania season.
Absolutely.
Maybe not for WrestleMania itself, but going into WrestleMania season. Dakota Kai comes out, Bayley's skeptical, as she should be. Where were you last week? Dakota says, I'm close to return.
I had a doctor's
appointment. Bayley says, all right, so where do you stand? And Dakota says, genuinely, I don't know. I don't know what happened last week. I don't know.
Yeah, because you, me, and Io, I think she said, were like sisters.
Yeah, then Asuka and Kairi came in, and genuinely, I don't know.
Yeah.
And when you look at Damage Control, Dakota reluctantly, like Damage Control, which is Io, Asuka, and Kairi, came down to the ring to attack Bayley.
Yeah, Dakota slid out of the ring while they were on their way down.
And the crowd ate it up.
Yeah, so they were on their way down. Bayley kind of notices she's alone. Dakota grabs a chair, slides into the ring, and looks like she's going to hit Bayley in the back.
Yep.
Bayley slowly turns around, slowly turns around, sees Dakota, shock on her face. Dakota goes to swing. Bayley steps aside, and Dakota is going for Io. Like, she's fully going for Io at that point.
Yep. And of course the crowd. But what I love about this turn is it feels like I still don't trust Dakota.
Could go either way. Yeah.
If I am watching this, Dakota could literally go any which way. It's one of the best. It's one of the best whose side are they on that I've seen in a very, very long time. I'm thinking the only one that's better than it that I've seen in recent memory is 17 years ago.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Sami Zayn.
Oh, heavens to Betsy, no. Sami Zayn was good because of Sami Zayn. This is good because of intrigue and story.
Oh, I was meaning on whose side they're
Oh,
on, because there was that story with Sami Zayn that was really good.
yeah. It was really good. I think this one's better. I don't think I've seen a whose side is he on or whose side is she on better since '07 Michaels and Cena.
Yeah.
And even that, it's just because Michaels. Damage Control has been booked terribly in ring.
Oh, absolutely.
Terribly. But somehow their story does not suffer.
No.
And it's fantastic that it doesn't suffer because I'm still invested in all of these people regardless of how many times they lose.
Whereas the Bloodline has had a very strong-ish booking, but their story is very crap.
Oh, it's crumbly. We're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
But speaking of things that are successes, AEW pulling out a successful double turn.
Yeah.
Honestly, walk us through, because when you told me this yesterday, I didn't believe you. I just finished watching the highlights, but
honestly, watch the Swerve, Strickland, and Hangman Page match, or watch things leading up to it. It's insane. It's very hard to explain. I have no clue how it happens, because it makes no sense that it happened, but it is so good that it happened.
that's really all you gotta say about
Yeah.
that. Like, when was the last time we saw a successful double turn? And keep in mind, we don't know how successful this one's gonna be, because we haven't seen the whole fallout.
Like a full double turn?
Yes.
I have no clue.
Like, because the only one I can think of is Bret Austin '97.
Yeah. Probably.
And if they play this right, if you've got Swerve Strickland and Hangman Page doing the double,
Yeah.
fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. From something fantastic to something tragic, Maurice is scheduled for surgery next month.
Yeah.
To remove some ovarian cysts, which lead to pre-cancer.
Yeah. A very rare type.
Yeah, very rare, very dangerous. Our hearts go out to Maurice. Do you think Miz is going to miss WrestleMania?
I don't know.
Because that's my thought. Like,
I don't know if Maurice would allow him to.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest here. Part of the reason why we bring up Maurice having cancer is, number one, Maurice wears the pants. You can see that in any interaction the Miz and Maurice have. But what's more important is there's a lot of love there.
Yeah.
And honestly, for what it's worth, really, what is there to say other than ovarian cancer? I hope she gets well, and I hope she comes through the surgery flawlessly. She's going to have a hysterectomy. Is it a hysterectomy she's going to have?
I don't know.
I don't.
Read
I know
fully into
I
it
don't
yet.
know the exact terminology of it, but in any case, our hearts go out to Maurice. From our hearts going out to our hearts staying firmly in our chests, Tony Khan says AEW will secure a great media rights deal. What does AEW need it to be in order for it to be a successful deal?
I think it needs to be, well, at least it has to be more than what their last one was. That's for sure. But it's hard to. I don't know what their last one was.
So
I don't know their financial situation.
So the big thing that I'm worried about is the things that I do know about their situation are they've lost money every year.
Yeah.
The only reason why they are able to keep going and keep doing the things that they are, as great as their deal with TBS TNT is, because it's no slouch of a deal. I think it's like a couple $100 million.
Yeah.
For 3 years or whatever it was. My concern, and just hear me out on this, is I want it, in order for me to believe it's going to be a successful deal, number one, your streaming rights have to be up for grabs this time around.
Yeah.
Which Tony Khan has acknowledged. He's taking a look at Warner Brothers Discovery, ESPN, and Fox, looking to launch a sports streaming conglomerate.
Yeah.
So he's looking at that one with bated breath. We don't know what way he's going to go there. But his streaming rights have to be up for grabs, and it has to be on a global scale.
Yeah.
And it cannot be a case similar to what you have with WWE, where Peacock still retains everything bar Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
And Netflix has Monday Night Raw. You have to be able to look at this, grab it by the throat, and choke it to its very foundation if you want your streaming rights to be anything in terms of successful. In order for it to be successful, I think AEW has got to be able to, with this streaming deal, break even and or show a profit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just flat out. Otherwise, I don't care how rich your father is, you're not going to be able to keep bankrolling people like Jericho or Bryan Danielson or Claudio or Samoa Joe and Jeff.
Now possibly, and now Will Ospreay, possibly Kazuchika Okada, if the rumors are true.
They're not cheap people.
No.
Like, these are very great people at the top of their craft, have been to the top in some of the wrestling meccas of the world, and they expect to be paid as such. And I can't say I blame them. So, in order for this deal to be successful and AEW to be able to stick around at number 2, it's got to start making money.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. But speaking of things that will hopefully make money, the Women's Elimination Chamber participants have allegedly been leaked by WWE.
Yeah.
So we've got Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, those 2 are confirmed. Then the other 4 are Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, Naomi, and Liv Morgan.
Which one surprises you the most?
Which one surprises me the most? Honestly, Stratton. Because for me, Jade Cargill showed enough at the Royal Rumble, just enough for me to think, oh shit, what is she going to be like inside of this cage structure? Liv Morgan is somebody who needs credibility, so why not put her in the chamber?
See, Stratton doesn't surprise me so much.
Yeah?
Because she's facing Shotzi.
Okay.
I don't know who the other ones are facing, really. But I am actually surprised that Jade Cargill is in there.
Why?
I think she fully deserves it.
Yeah.
It seems... I think the only reason that she's in there is to set up something with Bianca for Mania.
Which would make sense.
Yeah. But, again, that could have been done in any way. Like, I don't think Bianca should be in there because I just don't like Bianca. I'm tired of Bianca not having a match at Mania, but being all over the freaking media coverage.
And we'll get to that. It's honestly the next thing we're going to talk about.
Yeah, sorry.
But for me, when I look at this list, I want to see Jade Cargill inside of the chamber. I want to see what you make out of Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair. I want to see Jade Cargill one-up Bianca Belair once again, like she did in the Royal Rumble. But when I look at this list, Tiffany Stratton is the only one that sticks out to me, as I don't want to see this yet.
I do.
This is like, if I could replace one person out of the 6 and replace it with Nikki Cross so she could look at the chamber and just have fun in her pod, it would be Tiffany Stratton. I'm just saying, but agree to disagree. I can see why you say Cargill over Stratton. But since you have alluded to it so many times, let's just rip the Band-Aid off finally. WWE officially flip-flop. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes is a lock for WrestleMania 40. Almost said it's a rock, which kind of works. But let's talk about the press conference leading up to it. Now we've heard from a great many people today that Ben absolutely loved the Bianca Belair promo that made no sense.
No, you haven't heard that from anybody.
Really?
Yeah, I've never even watched it.
Really?
Yeah, I can't stand her.
Really? Couldn't figure that one out. So here's some of the other stuff we got out of the press conference before we could get to the big hook of this entire press conference.
The first thing I got out of it is, where the fuck is Bayley?
Exactly. She is the winner of the women's Royal Rumble, and you could have explained it away so easily.
Yeah.
The problem is, if Bayley isn't there, and the only person who calls it out is CM Punk, that's not a good sign.
No.
And I genuinely want to know, on what planet are you on? If you're like, this isn't even, I don't think this is even a Paul Levesque or Dwayne Johnson problem. I think this is an Ari Emanuel problem.
Yeah.
Because he should know, from having done events in the UFC or oversee Dana White doing similar events in the UFC, you want to have all of your champions and your contenders there.
Yeah.
All of them making a statement.
Yeah, I don't understand why Bianca's there.
Yep.
I also don't understand why Becky Lynch was there.
I'm fine with the Becky Lynch.
I'm not, because it looks like it's setting up for Becky versus Rhea at Mania, but they're having qualifiers for a chamber match while that's going on. And
I understand that too.
So there's no point in having Becky there unless you know she's actually challenging Rhea.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that 100%. I don't mind Becky Lynch there because the promo and her and Rhea had instant gold and instant chemistry.
Yeah.
And that is something that I was very happy to see.
But again, that's not the point. Bayley should have been there.
She absolutely should have been. I'm not arguing that with you.
No. Like, there are two people there that shouldn't be there over somebody else. That's the issue.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have Becky there because she's not set for a Mania match yet. There's no reason to have Bianca there. She's not set for a Mania match yet.
Would you have felt better if Becky Lynch was one of the panelists, like your CM Punk or your Big E?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's reason to have Bayley there.
Yep.
She's set for a Mania match.
1,000%. Again, I'm with you right there.
Yeah.
You and I are on the same wavelength.
She had already declared who she was facing at Mania.
Yep.
Why wasn't Bayley there?
For the record,
why wasn't Io there?
Yeah. Just saw that now. You could have played Io Sky so much better by just having her there and having... Hell, even have Dakota work for her as interpreter.
Yeah.
And then lead that into Dakota's turn to seemingly help Bayley. Why not do that? But that being said, if you haven't seen the press conference,
watch the background. Pat McAfee looks like he's having a great time the whole time.
It really does. Same with Big E. Yeah, I'm here to make sure CM Punk doesn't get fired.
And Punk was actually pretty damn good as a panelist.
Yeah. But that makes sense. He's good on commentary.
Yeah, but you hate to like the guy.
I know.
And you do not like to hate the guy.
I know. But he was good. I'll call a spade a spade.
Yeah, no, he's...
shout out to AJ Lee, by the way, wherever she is. Apparently WWE really wants her back if they've got Michael Cole calling her out or name dropping her.
Well, who doesn't want AJ Lee back?
Exactly. Even when Punk was doing his whole tirade, none of it affected AJ, which was great. Nonetheless, though, we get to, I'm guessing, the main event of the press conference.
Yeah.
The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns comes out and says Cody Rhodes doesn't get to choose his WrestleMania opponent, which makes Roman look really, really stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And then you get I don't even know what you call it, the bloodline family tree, or...
Yeah.
The Rock's family tree.
The
because he's
Anoa'i
Hachi.
family tree.
The Anoa'i family tree. I don't know. And it's a really nice diagram.
Yeah.
Like it's really, really nice. I wish WWE had have released it separately.
Yeah, watch Wrestle Talk. Ollie Davis goes over it. He made his own, and he does a very good job of explaining the Samoan dynasty and everything like that, honestly.
Yeah. Which makes what's happening make more sense.
Yeah.
The problem is that shouldn't be on Ollie Davis or Wrestle Talk or third parties to do.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Ollie Davis made the whole Roman Reigns bowing down to the Rock thing make sense.
Yeah.
It's not Ollie Davis's job to do that.
No. If you are like me, confused about the Bloodline storyline and why Roman is all of a sudden Rock's lapdog throughout all of this, go through and watch Ollie Davis's. It will make sense. The problem is, I don't care about the Samoan dynasty of it. No. I care about the practicality of it from a wrestling fan standpoint.
Yeah, because they're not explaining the Samoan dynasty of it.
You have built the Bloodline for 3 years. For 3 years, as Roman Reigns is the big bad, The Rock comes in and all of a sudden Roman is very subservient.
Okay,
Roman looks.
I'm not going to say
Roman
all
looks
this
back
at the press conference. Yes, very subservient. But when The Rock is making the claims about being the head of the table in that, or should he sit at the head of the table in that, that's where Roman was like feeling threatened and all that. But then when Rock comes in, it's all subservient.
Yep.
And that's a big issue.
Absolutely it is. You need to be able to look at a Roman Reigns, especially if you're going to make Roman Reigns dumb.
Yeah.
Which also in itself makes no sense for the story, given the 3 years of Roman Reigns on top.
No.
Roman should not be able to make a dumb proclamation that Cody Rhodes is not allowed to make a declaration for WrestleMania.
Yeah, because he's hesitated to make his decision.
Yeah.
He has until after the chamber to make his decision, usually.
As far as I'm concerned, like, there's no set deadline as far as I know. It's just been traditionally after chamber.
Yeah. Because you want to know who the champion going into it is.
Like, he could technically make his declaration the night before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And it would still be fine, and it would still make sense. It's not Roman being, like, threatening or intimidating. It makes Roman look like a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
And you do not want that if you're building a 3-year dynasty of this guy being head of the table, even if he's got all of his puppets doing it for him.
It makes Roman look like he's actually scared of Cody.
Well, see, and I wouldn't mind Roman being scared of Cody if the storyline around him gave him reason to be scared of Cody.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for Roman Reigns over the past 3 years, that story hasn't done that. Had you have used this time, because you're a big proponent of it's fine that Cody Rhodes lost at WrestleMania 39. If you're going to do that, there are two things. Well, like you defend it a lot more than I do.
I'm not defending it. Cody should have won.
No. But if you're going to use this time to, as you say, have Cody Rhodes be built, have Roman Reigns throughout that same year be more and more afraid or be more and more hesitant at the last name Rhodes. That's all I'm saying. Anyway,
he'd have to actually show up for work for that, though.
Which is another thing. Which is another thing entirely. They should be finding him, threatening him. All of that should have been built over that last year.
It should have been very much like what Tony Khan done with MJF when MJF was first champion. Hey, you have to show up to work here or you're being fined.
Yep. Absolutely.
But no, Roman gets to show up 3-4 times a year.
Yep. Besides that, so you go and you have this is going to be an epic moment in time. Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Cody Rhodes comes out and interrupts Roman. Says, well, actually, no, you don't get to make that decision. That decision is mine. And, you know what? Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 40. Thank you. Bye. And The Rock The Rock throws a hissy fit.
Yep.
He throws a complete tantrum, turns heel, which is really, really nice to see. The problem is, again,
he makes Roman look like a little bitch.
He makes Roman look like the biggest bitch in bitch town.
Yeah, you don't like it. I fucking love it.
I don't like it because it throws away 3 years. This whole thing is throwing him away 3 years.
And to me, this whole 3 years, Roman's looked like a little bitch the whole time, so it's just adding on to it. Because he hasn't been able to win a match by himself.
I wish they'd call that out.
He's been a little bitch the whole time.
The problem that I see with it is, if you're building him as this conqueror, at least have the facade. There is no facade there. There is no facade anywhere.
Yeah, I know.
And it's unfortunate to me. I think the whole bloodline storyline is a complete washout. And I really think that Cody Rhodes should have been able to throw more barbs before The Rock and Roman got offended and stormed off. I think Cody should have went for the jugular.
Yeah. So
I think
Roman, it was insulting Dusty a lot more than the one line Cody said about
the Maivia and the Anoa'i family.
And Cody said it specifically about
they'd be I don't
Roman.
know.
That they'd be ashamed of Roman.
It was directed to Roman, but the way that they would be ashamed of you came out.
Yeah.
It could have been misconstrued. That part I don't mind.
The Rock smacks Cody Rhodes after one line, after they've been smack talking his family.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
No. Unless you're going to have Cody Rhodes be under the protection of Triple H and just told, go for the jugular.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. And the fix it, Paul, fix it, or we will, that part's fine.
Yeah.
And the promo by Triple H afterwards on Friday was really, really good. The problem is there's no reason to really have that. Like, this whole Rock versus Triple H thing.
No, I'm waiting for the whole, don't worry, I'll fix it from Triple H. Cody Rhodes is going to face Solo Sikoa in a singles match. He's going to face Jey Uso in a singles, or not Jey, Jimmy Uso in a singles match. And if he wins those singles matches, they can't even be at the arena for WrestleMania.
I don't think they're going to do that.
I don't think they are, but I would love it.
Jimmy. No, I want to see, like, because honestly, this story is for the hardcore because you're trying to save the bloodline story by appealing to the vocal minority, which is good because it's me. And, terrible for the casuals, but who cares? You got the rest of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I would have it be like, I would have Triple H go out and intimidate Rock in that promo and intimidate Paul Heyman. And basically using your stipulations, say that out to Rock, and Rock saying, now keep in mind, I have the power to do that. I have the power to fire all of them. But I'm not going to do that because I'm a fair person. But, whether it is Cody Roman or Cody Roman Rock, you need to take all of the other elements out. Paul Heyman, gone. Solo Sikoa, gone. Jimmy Uso, gone.
I could understand if Heyman's still there, Cody needs somebody in his corner.
Yep.
But that's unlikely to happen because of who the person in his corner should be and where he signed with.
Yeah. Brody Lee Jr. would be an excellent choice to be in Cody Rhodes' corner.
Oh, no. That's not an issue. Brody Lee Jr. has been seen many times backstage at WWE, on camera with WWE, training with Liv Morgan in a ring.
But still, Brody Lee Jr., perfect choice.
But actually, I think Dustin Rhodes.
Goldust.
But as Dustin Rhodes.
Even then, would AEW play ball?
I think there's more of a chance now than there ever was before.
with Vince gone.
Especially if they can get promotion out of it, which they could use very much.
The problem that I see with that is WWE sees AEW's competition.
Yeah, that's why I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's more likely now than ever.
That being said, Brody Lee Jr. What fun would that be?
Yeah.
Just to have... No.
I want to see Brody Lee Jr. Hurricane and Paul Heyman.
Yeah. You act like a child, so I'm going to bring in an actual child.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Brody Lee Jr., Hurricane, Paul Heyman, even bitch slapping Roman is something I would love to see.
Yeah.
But then again, I also will bag on this match and bag on this match hardcore if the tribal chief doesn't bleed.
Yeah.
This is one of the few matches where I am adamant that blood needs to be a factor.
Whereas I don't care as much as long as we get rid of Roman.
That being said, we're going to end with match of the week.
Yeah.
Match of the week. Do you want to take it away? Because, quite frankly, I think you and I
DIY versus Pete Dunne, not Butch, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate.
Yeah. And also, honorable mention goes out to Hangman Page versus Swerve Strickland.
Yeah.
Fantastic match. The problem is, I just can't get a good feed.
Yeah.
And if I can't get a good feed, one of the rules that we have stated flat out,
it has to be a match
match we can both see or have both seen.
Yeah.
You've seen it, said it's spectacular. I believe you. I tried to find.
I couldn't find where I found it.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
But that being said, DIY versus Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Fantastic match, great spots, but you're seeing that more and more out of especially DIY.
Yeah,
almost like they've been able to like thrive in this whole new regime.
Like they've been able to work and do stuff and
instead of being sidelined.
Yeah.
For God knows how long. Because some 95-year-old miser who's more interested in getting women to talk about a former wrestler in the rank of didn't know how to use two of the best people.
Are you talking about the guy that wanted to have an incest storyline with his daughter?
Well, you hear rumors of that guy existing, but WWE just erased him. He's erased from the new WWE video game. I don't even know who he is.
I'm not sure. But shout out to Pat McAfee being undefeated at WrestleMania.
Absolutely. Tremendous new Undertaker streak right there. Congratulations, Pat, for all of your work. Also, I am totally surprised that they didn't use Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 22.
Yeah.
I don't know what the injury was, and I'm the biggest Shawn Michaels fan in the world. I don't even know what the undisclosed injury was, but it's a real blight on WrestleMania 22 that they don't have the best performer on the roster there.
Yeah.
When, from what I remember, having seen him at Survivor Series 05, was well within his rights to be able to go.
Absolutely.
But that being said, I think that's all we got time for.
Yeah, that's everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we do, please find us on Degen Wrestling on TikTok. We'll be back here next week with a new podcast, and hopefully, no melodrama about a certain man and his certain propensity for doing wonderfully horrendous things to people who honestly deserve way better.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting us into your homes, guys. We will see y'all next week.
See yous.